He never can be a friend to the human race who is a preacher of natural morality or natural religion. He is a flatterer who means to betray, to perpetuate tyrant pride and the laws of that Babylon, which he foresees shall shortly be destroyed with the spiritual and not the natural sword. He is in the state named Rahab, which state must be put off before he can be the friend of man. You, O Deists, profess yourself the enemies of Christianity, and you are so. You are also the enemies of the human race and of universal nature. Man is born a spectre or Satan and is altogether an evil and requires a new selfhood continually and must continually be changed into his direct contrary. But your Greek philosophy, which is a remnant of Druidism, teaches that man is righteous in his vegetated spectre, an opinion of fatal and accursed consequence to man, as the ancients saw plainly by revelation to the entire abrogation of experimental theory, and many believed what they saw, and prophesied of Jesus. Man must and will have some religion. If he has not the religion of Jesus, he will have the religion of Satan, and will erect the synagogue of Satan, calling the prince of this world God, and destroying all those who do not worship Satan under the name of God. Will anyone say, "Where are those who worship Satan under the name of God? Where are they?" Listen, every religion that preaches vengeance for sin is the religion of the enemy and avenger, and not the forgiver of sin. And their God is Satan, named by the divine name. Your religion, O Deists, deism, is the worship of the God of this world by the means of what you call natural religion and natural philosophy, and of natural morality or self-righteousness, the selfish virtues of the natural heart. This was the religion of the Pharisees who murdered Jesus. Deism is the same and ends the same. Voltaire, Rousseau, Gibbon, Hume charged the spiritually religious with hypocrisy. But how a monk or a Methodist either can be a hypocrite, I cannot conceive. We are men of like passions with others, and pretend not to be holier than others. Therefore, when a religious man falls into sin, he ought not be called a hypocrite. This title is more properly to be given to a player who falls into sin, whose profession is virtue and morality, and the making men self-righteous. Foote, in calling Whitefield hypocrite, was himself one, for Whitefield pretended not to be holier than others, but confessed his sins before all the world. Voltaire, Rousseau, you cannot escape my charge that you are Pharisees and hypocrites, for you are constantly talking of the virtues of the human heart, and particularly of your own, that you may accuse others, and especially the religious, whose errors you, by this display of pretended virtue, chiefly design to expose. Rousseau thought men good by nature. He found them evil and found no friend. Friendship cannot exist without forgiveness of sins continually. The book written by Rousseau, called his Confession, is an apology and cloak for his sin, is not a confession. But you also charge the poor monks and religious with being the causes of war, while you acquit and flatter the Alexanders and Caesars, the Lewises and Fredericks, who alone are its cause and its actors. But the religion of Jesus, forgiveness of sin, can never be the cause of a war, nor of a single martyrdom. Those who martyr others or who cause war are deists, but never can be forgivers of sin. The glory of Christianity is to conquer by forgiveness, and the deconstruction and the destruction, therefore, in Christian Europe has arisen from deism, which is natural religion. I saw a monk of Charlemagne arise before my sight. I talked with the grey monk as we stood in beams of infernal light. Gibbon arose with a lash of steel, and Voltaire with a racking wheel. The schools in clouds of learning rolled, arose with war in iron and gold. Thou lazy monk, they sound afar, in vain condemning glorious war, and in your cell you shall ever dwell. Rise, war, and bind him in his cell. The blood red round from the grey monk's side, his hands and feet were wounded wide, his body bent, his arms and knees like to the roots of ancient trees. When Satan first the black bow bent, and the moral law from the gospel rent, he forged the law into a sword, and spilled the blood of mercy's Lord. Titus, Constantine, Charlemagne, O Voltaire, Rousseau, Gibbon, vain your Grecian mocks and Roman sword against this image of his Lord. For a tear is an intellectual thing, and a sigh is the sword of an angel king, and the bitter groan of a martyr's woe is an arrow from the Almighty's bow.